What a time to be alive. Equity markets across the world are bleeding. The Dow is down over 3.2% in Q1, while the Nasdaq has fallen 5.8% since the start of the year. Bitcoin has almost cut in half from its 2025 highs, losing some 46%. The Fed, like most central banks, have put interest rate cuts on hold, while inflation is expected to rise even further in the US. And of course, oil has hit its 2022 peak high. I'm Nielsen Rose, your investment management specialist, and welcome back to another episode of the Investment Playbook. Over the last few episodes, we've broken down the markets, simplified the noise, and built a foundation that most people don't get until they're deep into adulthood. But today, we bring it all together because the truth is, investing isn't about predicting the future. It's really about preparing for it. And right now, the world is giving us a masterclass in why preparation matters. The fact is, the world has shifted. When we started this year, the landscape looked quite different. Now, with rising tariffs, inflation pressure, and the war involving Israel, the US, and Iran, which has disrupted global oil routes and supply chains, the game has changed. But here's the key. Smart investors don't panic, they pivot. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today. If you have been invested in the markets, the core values still stand. Invest in value, be cognizant of the technicals, and watch out for opportunities, even and especially in a crisis. Now, let's backtrack a bit to the start of the year. Sectors like AI, artificial intelligence and semiconductors, green energy and clean tech, healthcare and biotech, the financial services and the communication services were on the top of every analyst's pick. These weren't guesses. These were long-term structural growth engines that all the experts and all the analysts were touting. And even with everything happening in the world, these sectors still matter. Largely because they represent the future. But now, the experts, the analysts, are saying we may need to add another layer. We may need to review some of those previously mentioned and pivot if we need to. So let's break it down, shall we? There's no doubt we must adjust to the new reality. Tariffs have and are continuing to change supply chains. Oil shocks definitely impact inflation. War changes everything, including the markets. So, how do we adjust the playbook? Here's what the analysts have been saying. AI stays strong. Innovation doesn't stop just because the world is messy. Green energy gets stronger. High oil prices actually accelerate the shift to alternatives. Healthcare, that's your anchor. People still need care in every economy, and communication services, those will be steady. Digital life doesn't slow down. Financials, however, do require some caution. Inflation have delayed rate cuts, which means we need to move carefully. And now we may need to add energy. Because when oil spikes, energy companies, their prices rise. This is how you invest. With awareness, not with fear. And here's the kicker. If you don't have the time, skill sets, or capital outlay, you may need to look at the role of ETFs in this environment. Let's make this clear. ETFs are both safer as well as being complementary. They protect you from the single company effect, the risks, and help you stay invested in sectors that are way too big for one stock to represent. In a world of unpredictability, ETFs become one of the smartest tools in your arsenal. So going forward, here's something many analysts are saying. For your long-term growth engines, they are eyeing AI, green energy, healthcare, and communication services. Now, for selective opportunities, but hey, we must be cautious, they're looking at financials, an area that has been rising, which the experts say may be a tactical addition to your portfolio, is the energy sector. However, expect volatility. You may be in for a bumpy ride. But if stability and diversification is what you're looking for, the experts are eyeing ETFs. This is how you build a portfolio that can survive storms and thrive in the sunshine. The real lesson, if you take nothing away from this series, take this. You don't need to try to predict the future. You just need a strategy that works no matter what the future brings. Investing is not all about perfection. It's about consistency. It's about discipline. And it's about staying in the game long enough to win. Because unlike most people, you are already ahead of the game. You're in the market, you're investing, you're learning, you're thinking, and you're building your own investment playbook. So, if you found value in this episode, please remember, like, share, and subscribe. Spread the knowledge around, and trust me, this is only the beginning. Stay focused, stay flexible, stay invested, and of course, see you in the next episode.